The rising cost of living is affecting people, families, businesses right across the country, and nowhere is that more evident than when you come to places like this. This is Aber Necessities. It's a charity that helps struggling families in the areas of Aberdeen and Aberdeenshire. And I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by the charity's founder. This is Danny. Danny, you were watching the Chancellor's announcement today. You were hoping for some answers. Do you feel as if you got any? City dubbed the oil capital of Europe, some critics would say it's somewhat ironic that it can't afford to keep the lights on in one of its premier sporting venues. And there's another concern too. One look at the new proposed plans for Pittodrie Stadium will show that it's meant to be on the site here. So is this temporary closure really temporary? This facility will continue as a full-time vaccination hub as the face of vaccinations and primary care shifts from GP surgeries. But it will have less staff, which in itself is an indicator on where we are with COVID policy. This Unison survey was offered to all of its 3,000 NHS Grampian members. They work in various roles, from porters to cleaners to nurses. The unions say the results speak for themselves. Those working here at this health board need immediate support. The immediate focus for the Reds is Livingston here at Pittodrie on Saturday. A win would go a long way in boosting morale and ending what's been a difficult season on a high. But beyond that and to next season, well, the management team say preparations are already underway.
I can only foresee.
Work here should have been completed by last summer, but that deadline was missed and blamed on coronavirus lockdowns. Adverse weather affected progress over the months to follow. Now this latest deadline, well, that's been missed due to what Aberdeen City Council says is supply chain issues. Changing shopping habits is, at least in part, one of the reasons to blame for the gradual decline of the high streets, but the pandemic has accelerated it, which is evident here in some areas of the Granite City. The plan should include information on how Scottish airports like this one here in Aberdeen can recover passenger numbers and potentially reinstate routes which were lost to the pandemic. And of course that's all against the backdrop of trying to meet environmental targets. But it's planning which airport bosses say is desperately needed. Well, I think it's fair to say, Chris, that there was perhaps more surprise when Tam Courts got the job here at Tannadice. Of course, he was promoted from the youth development squad, and there was many people within the United Faithful questioning whether he had the right credentials to lead